Hello everybody, Charjallz here, and welcome back to yet another episode of Preikest here in OpenRCT2. This is part 6, but only my third part, I think. Yes, that is correct. So in part 1, okay, first of all, let me start over. This is the collaboration between Miscraft and I. Part 1 was by Miscraft, and we did commentary together on his channel. I'll link his channel in the description below along with the series playlist in case you need to catch up on older episodes or even watch them for the first time in case you don't even know about this series. And then part 2 was by me, which was my first part of this series, and we also did commentary together, just for fun, I guess. I think we decided to do like commentary together once in the middle, or sorry, once in the beginning, once in the middle, and then one at the end. And then the rest of the episodes just kind of solo commentary as per usual. So I'm all alone in this episode. Sniff, sniff. Same with part 4. Just as usual. So in this episode, well, if you guys don't know about the series, this is a kind of an Alpine-ish theme. We're gonna be using a lot of brown. I know it kind of sounds gross, but brown, it works. But we still want to throw in other colors. We kind of used yellow in the beginning and stuff, but anyway, our theme is kind of like Alpine, kind of cabin-like buildings, pretty relaxing, lots of water, lots of mountains. Obviously, you can see I made a giant mountain here, possibly too big, but I kind of went with it. I did this for like 4 hours, and I didn't really want to start over, so as you can see, I might have to do some explaining here. Good thing I have a lot of time. This is like, I think like this took me about 4 hours, which is more than usual. So I actually sped up the video at certain parts a little bit faster than usual, so I didn't get like a 22-minute video, which I think it ended up being originally. But I was like, oh, that's a little bit much. So I sped it up to like 15 minutes, just under that, I think. So let me explain a little bit what's going on here, because you might be seeing that chairlift and be like, is that a chairlift? Is that a swinging or a mini suspended coaster? What's going on? So in part 4, I made a giant building, and I started a chairlift. Like at the very end of the episode, I kind of started the chairlift, and then so that right there, I just kind of showed the building real quick there. It's kind of hard to see, but then you can see the chairlift there. That ride actually did start off as a normal chairlift, and then I switched the ride type to the mini suspended roller coaster. So it's still a chairlift. You can see the whatever you call it, the cars, the ski lifts, the ski cars, I guess you can say. I don't remember what they're called. And they just, they go like 6 miles per hour, normal speed, pretty slow, just kind of up the mountain. And the reason I use the mini suspended roller coaster, I don't know. I think it looks better. I've seen people do it, and I think it looks cool. I think it's just a little bit of a thicker wire, I guess you could say. It's a little bit of a thicker track, and I like the look of it. So then right now, as you can see, I'm making the station for the top part of the chairlift. I actually didn't even know at this point, like, what am I going to be doing up here? Because I wanted the chairlift to end up here, and then I thought, well, now there's going to be a bunch of guests stuck at the top of a mountain. I was debating back and forth, should I make it just for looks, like the chairlift, just kind of have it fake and have it just testing so guests can't ride it, and just kind of make it like a fake building up top? That was my first plan. I don't know. I could have gone either way. I'm happy with what I did. I did make it guest accessible. Obviously, you can see guests are trapped up on that mountain, but don't worry, I do make a path on the way down. Actually, I didn't really finish it because I didn't know what I was going to do later, so I'll continue that in the next episode. So yes, guests are going to be trapped up here for a while, but it's their fault. They didn't look at the park map really well. And then you can kind of see I have a launched free fall there. I have a little bit of food, drink, and bathroom in there just because guests need those apparently. Like everywhere you need to put bathrooms, otherwise guests complain. And I didn't think originally to do like a path on the way up the mountain, but that's what I did. I kind of, obviously I start from the top here of the mountain, and then I kind of work my way down gradually with the path. I didn't really start that yet. I'm still working on the building here. And I kind of just went random with this building, and I think it turned out pretty well. You can see that I used the wooden coaster tracks again for track texture for that roof there, like that black part where the chairlift exits and enters right there. And then I kind of put I think either a car ride or Virginia reel. I forget which one. I think it might be the car ride, but just kind of on top of that wooden coaster because I see people do it and it looks cool, so I did that. I'm starting to use track texture a lot more now. Even though I don't really need to use it, I just think it looks cool. I like to play around with it. So I have a couple rides up there, and then you can see I'm starting a suspended roller coaster here, and that it is called Mamba Mountain. I named the coaster that, even though, I mean, I think it makes sense. So the Mamba is a kind of snake, which according to, I don't know my snakes really well, but according to Google Images, there's a lot of green snakes that show up when I type in Mamba. So that works perfectly for this green coaster. I named it Mamba Mountain. You know, it sounds cool, Mamba Mountain, and it fits well because it's green and long, I guess. I don't know. I'm a weird person. Okay. Yeah, and this path is kind of a mess. I do play around with it quite a bit. And I do really struggle with this. And this project here was really risky because it's just, you can just look at the screen right now and it's a big mess. It's just like lots of mountain, lots of random path, lots of random landscaping, and then I'm kind of starting a coaster and I didn't know where to go. I was really it was insane, but I eventually made it work, I think. I think if I were to have done this again, I would make it a little bit smaller. Like, I don't think I needed the chairlift all the way up there. I think it's still a realistic height. I don't think it's unrealistically high. I think it's fine as is. But, you know, if I were to have done it again, I probably would have made it smaller, but I still think it turned out all right. And okay, so now I'm continuing the coaster again. I really didn't have a plan with this coaster either. I kind of had the idea to mix it in with a splash boats ride or a water coaster, kind of like weave it in with the suspended coaster a little bit. But I didn't really have room in that corner there. But I definitely want to get like a water coaster or a splash boats, unless Miscraft does that first. But I don't care which one I do, but I just feel like it fits the theme really well to have some sort of water ride with like the Alpine-ish theme, and like there's a lot of water that we want, so I feel like water rides are pretty important. Or maybe even a water slide or a log flume, that could work as well. Because we don't have any water rides at all so far. We just have 3 coasters, including this one that I'm making right now, and then just a bunch of flat rides basically. So yeah. Sorry, I thought I heard something outside. I'm recording this at 12:38 a.m. Yeah, because everybody's asleep. You know, I don't like to record when everybody's in the house. Well, there's always somebody in the house. But now look at me. I'm not even talking about what I'm doing anymore. And as you can still see, I'm trying to see if I could talk through the entire episode, so I'm kind of running out of things to say here. So yeah, you could still just see that it's a huge mess right now. I finished the coaster layout. I think I messed with it just a little bit, but I think that's basically 99%. That's the layout that you're looking at there. I don't think I really changed it that much. I think just a little bit towards the end, but not as much. And then, like I said before, I want to have path that kind of zigzags its way, I guess you could say, on its way down the mountain. But I didn't want to just have boring old path with nothing else, because I feel like I need a ride everywhere. So I kind of did rides on the way down, so you can kind of see on the very top there, you know, I had the launch free fall, and then just a little bit lower there, I don't even know what ride that's called, but it's obviously custom. And then I have a swinging ship ride. Well, it's not a ship, I forget what it was called, but it's just a swinging thing. You can see it there. And then I think I do one more, just kind of a little bit lower. I like to have the rides on the way up. I think it looks pretty cool that way. You know, like I said, I didn't want to just have path with nothing up there. I feel like guests need to have something. So yeah, what else to talk about? And this part right here, you can kind of see that I'm playing around with landscape pieces. That's how I made that little tunnel thing where it's like 3 units wide where the coaster exits out of. And it's weird. Some of those landscape pieces, it bugs me because there's supports on them. You know, you raise the landscape pieces and it comes up with supports on it. And that bugs me. It's like, why would I want supports on a landscape piece? Like, the point of it is to make a tunnel. And then if there's just supports hanging down from it, that just kind of loses the point. But I had to use the support blocker, which, you know, obviously helped the majority of it, but I still left a little bit of supports just right underneath the landscape piece. I think you can kind of see it right here, where that first big major drop, you can see like those landscape pieces that I put in. You can see just a little bit of black supports right underneath. I cannot get rid of that. I'm trying to think of solutions. I don't know how to really cover that up, but it sucks. Kind of weird. Now kind of over here, you can kind of see I'm making a waterfall. It's kind of funny because it doesn't look like the waterfall's moving, at least on my end here, because it's a time lapse, and I guess it just perfect timing. And I'm kind of getting rid of the boxiness of the park. I use those black tiles to hide the land, just to get a little bit of a curve there, I guess. I'm trying to go away from boxiness now with the parks, you know, just kind of like empty spaces that I don't need. So yeah. Right now you can see that I'm making a river. I'm actually not a fan of how this river looks, but I think it's kind of cool to have just something there. I think it definitely needs adjusting, but I think we should have a river there that kind of cuts through the majority of the park there. What else to talk about? I'm just, you know, landscaping is obviously one of my favorite things to do. Miscraft, actually, last episode, I was going to bring this up and I forgot. Last episode, in his episode, part 5, he made a mine train coaster with a mountain very similar to mine, actually, but it's a little bit smaller. And it was really good. Like, it blew me away. I think Miscraft and I, like, out of all of the collaborators that I've collaborated with, I think Miscraft and I have the closest styles to each other. We both love landscaping. We both like to build sort of densely with buildings. You know, everybody has their own styles, and I think it works. Like, you know, like Simfox, for example, he's more precise with the trees, and it looks beautiful. And I just don't have the patience for that, to be honest. But he likes to spread out his buildings a little bit more. He likes to, you know, do beautiful gardens and stuff in front of his buildings, and it's executed very well. You know, everybody has different styles, and I think they all work. But for me, I kind of build, and then just kind of where empty spaces are, just densely pack it with trees. And I still think it works pretty well. You know, I'm a little bit more sloppy than most people, I think, but I still think it works. So, and I'm not saying Miscraft is sloppy at all, not even close. But I think we do have very similar styles. We like to, you know, like I said, landscape a lot. But yeah, so that just kind of put that out there. I don't know. But yeah, his mine train coaster was just absolutely amazing. I love the waterfall that he did, and you know, I love landscaping. That is one of my favorite things to do in this game. Obviously, you can see I did a crap ton, like a lot here, as you can see. And then towards the end here, I'm actually getting about a minute left of this. I just actually in this last minute, I just go really quickly with the trees and just kind of spam them everywhere. And by the way, you can see at the chairlift, I kind of missed that. I did make custom supports for it. I hid the original ones and then kind of put fancy new ones, just like how they are in real life. Pretty similar. It's kind of like a T shape, I guess you could say. You know, it has like one post in the middle, and then it kind of makes a T shape. I don't know. I suck at explaining things. So anyway, we're wrapping up this episode in the next 20 seconds here. So I'm just kind of going really fast, spamming these trees here. I mixed in some winter trees. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Miscraft. Make sure you subscribe to me if you enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time.